Originally I thought this was going to be the most disappointing summer of the year, but really, the whole year has been a disappointment. This was me in 2014. Oh my God! And this is me now. Let's just go through the whole year, starting in January, with Taken 3. Now this one actually looked interesting. It looked more than just their families taken. Again. But then realizing it's a January movie, and Liam Neeson is so old they can't actually film the action scenes coherently, and the editing is like a seizure, it actually turned out to be the essential January movie. And really expecting anything from January, I mean, that's my fault. Also another fantastic character from the great Johnny Depp as Mordecai. And then we move to February, the slightly less terrible month. Jupiter Ascending's original release date was October 2014, but then production delays caused it to move to February 2015. Now, combination of production delays and being released in February, that's a recipe for something terrible. Now, I knew this movie was going to be bad, but my brother, he wanted to see it. And that's the real disappointment. Other movies in February, 50 Shades of Grey. Also, Will Smith came back with a cool con movie, but it just was mediocre. Then in March we had one of my most anticipated movies, Chappie. Now this movie was my first hint to how truly disappointing this year was going to be. Of course, everyone loves District 9, and Elysium was tolerable. It's just Chappie was interesting, but bad. It had some cool parts, some cool action, but mostly, I don't know what I want to say about Chappie. That sucked. First we're all like, yeah, Neil Blomkamp, yeah! But now we're like, no, Neil Blomkamp, no! And I swear, every Neil Blomkamp movie is going to have, from the maker of District 9. Because, I mean, that's, you know, people loved it, and then that's going to be his only good movie, unfortunately. Sorry. Also, I think that was the only movie that came out in March. I don't know, March is barely better than February and January. And now it's starting to get exciting. We're into April, and you know what that means. The Rock. Can you tell I liked Furious 7? I really didn't. I saw the trailer for this one, and again, this looked good. I know this series has a special place in certain people's hearts, but I am not one of them. I watched the first 5 Furiouses, and they're just, Not even The Rock can make me like this franchise. Now I know the whole MO for this series is just to be over the top and crazy driving, but it's just, there's no suspense in it because, like, Vin Diesel, he'll, like, drive off an exploding building and, like, hit like a helicopter and then crash into another building and then it'll explode and fall on top of him, and then we're all like, oh my goodness, is he alright? And like, yeah, he's alright, he's Vin Diesel. And he's like, they're not gonna kill Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. Too soon? Too soon. Alright, we made it. The summer, finally, when we start release good movies. Right? Now I know most people were disappointed with Avengers 2. I think everyone wanted it to melt their brains from the awesomeness, and I know that didn't happen. I still, as you can see, like the Avengers, but most people didn't, and that's disappointing. Of course, I think Joss Whedon might be a little burned out, but I mean, it's okay. Still made a good movie. And then there's Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland was actually one of the most anticipated movies for me because of the teaser trailer. I saw that and I thought, what is this? It's a mysterious world. They're gonna take me to Tomorrowland. It's gonna be fantastic. But then it was like, not fantastic, and like, I don't even know, like, what is the movie even about? Like, save the planet, be original, don't be bad. It just really should have been better. I mean, Brad Bird, a great director of animated features and even Mission Impossible. This should have been a great movie, but And I think I do have to blame Brad Bird for it. And it wasn't like characters talking, it was like actors delivering lines poorly. Then we got The Rock again in a disaster movie. And again, The Rock can't make me like this movie. But definitely the most disappointing thing of May is that a movie was supposed to come out this month, but then it got delayed till December. Also, I saw the live-action Attack on Titan movie. Talk about disappointing. Okay, now it's June. Jurassic World. Alright. This one, for me, definitely the most upsetting movie of the year. It made $1 billion. Okay, it's like the people that made Jurassic World didn't see the first 3 Jurassic Park movies. So here's what they did. At first, when they announced this movie, I was like, oh, okay, that's exciting, because it's a bit of a new premise. It's not people on a deserted island or a deserted park getting attacked by dinosaurs. It's people in a full park, like total chaos. But you see what they did? They wrote themselves into a hole, because the next movie, what's it going to be? What do they have now? An abandoned park with dinosaurs in it. What are they going to do? Send people to that park to get attacked by dinosaurs? Almost certainly! There's just too much. This whole video could be about Jurassic World. There's the hamster balls that there's no way those can be made. There's the fact that they have to scientifically create new dinosaurs despite their park being overrun with people. Did you see the park? And it's like there's people everywhere. They don't need more dinosaurs. And there's Vincent D'Onofrio who wants to turn them into super mutant robot soldier dinosaurs. Why is there always some guy that wants to take the thing and then turn it into make an army of it? And then those 2 kids? Yeah. Okay. I kind of see what they were going for. There was kids in the first one. The first one's great. Flawless, untouchable. Not flawless. There's a lot of mistakes. But untouchable. But the kids in this movie, completely unlikable. The young one is just straight up annoying, and the older one's just creepy stalker. Why is every woman in this theme park staring at this guy? At first I was excited for this movie, but what I realized is there are no good Jurassic Park sequels. All of them are bad. You're dead to me. Okay. I'm okay. Now remember, just because a movie is disappointing doesn't mean it's bad. So I'm halfway through the summer and I'm thinking, what is happening? Do I just not like movies anymore? No. It's not my fault. It's their fault. Inside Out was a breath of fresh air. Pixar, you did it again. But I'm left with a lot of questions. Like why memories are directly related to emotions. Like it kind of makes sense. It's like they'll do something fun. I was like, hey, remember doing that fun thing? Like, boop, boop. There's my emotion and my memory, that happy memory. Or you could be like, hey, remember that time? Yeah, at the funeral, yeah. Boop, sad emotion. But then what about like, I was coming up the stairs this morning and I'm like, just coming up the stairs. I remember that. There's no emotion connected to it. And I'm like, melancholy. Is that an emotion? Also, sadness is like the super emotion. She just makes everything sad. She can just touch every emotion and make it sad. It's like an analogy for depression. It's like sadness is the strongest emotion, maybe. Oh, and also they could all die. Your emotions could die. Like what if Joy had not gotten out of the pit of despair or something? She would just, no more happiness for Riley. Sorry. You got a pit of, you should put some guardrails around the pit. While you're at it, what about like a rescue team or something? Like your headquarters, or you're like celebrities. You're important, I think, that you should have security. And what about that one spoiler that disappears forever? If someone mentions like, hey, remember that thing as a kid that you part dolphin? You'd be like, no. Fell into the abyss. I completely forgot about him. There's no memory. He's in the abyss now. Sorry. Also, the literal representation of abstract concepts. Like, the train of thought is literally a train, but does it take, like, 30 seconds for her to have an idea, like, hey, so, what's up? You're like, train of thought is coming. Oh, nothing. What's up? It's like, and then like, the train like crashed. So it physically, like there was physically a train and it physically crashed. She was having a thought and then stopped having a thought because it crashed. Was she just like, oh yeah, sorry, my train crashed. I mean, I guess that does happen. I guess that would be a brain fart. Sorry, my train of thought farted and I got derailed. It's too bad Bing Bong wasn't part giant eagle. That would have made that a lot easier. Okay, now we're in July, and it only gets worse from here. Terminator Genesis. Where do I even begin? Jai Courtney, let's start with him. Stop putting Jai Courtney in movies, just period. Also, stop making Terminator movies, please. This one's kind of like Jurassic Park. There was one good Terminator movie, and then one good sequel. The other ones, Terminator movies don't even make money, and this one did the worst. Just stop making them. Alright, Ant-Man. Now this one isn't a bad movie. It's a good movie, but I can't think of this movie without a grain of salt. You don't know how excited I was for Edgar Wright to have a movie in the MCU. I'll just have to imagine how good the movie could have been. And then we have Minions. When Despicable Me 2 came out, I read an article about most people wanted to see the movie because the Minions were in it. And the producers thought, money! So they made this movie centralized around show stealers. Show stealers are the secondary, quirky, funny characters that steal the spotlight from our main hero. Or in some cases, our main villain. Examples would be Genie from Aladdin or Dory from Finding Nemo. You don't see Disney making movies about their side characters. Oh no. So side characters work off the main character. Like the main character will do something and they'll do something quirky. And when you take those characters and put them at the forefront of a story, they lose their charm and they become annoying and tiresome. Now I may be biased because I absolutely hate Minions, but even people who like Minions the character don't like Minions the movie. Like I'll ask someone, like, hey, you see the Minions movie? And they'll be like, yeah. I'm like, did you like it? They'll be like, but it made $1 billion, so they're getting a sequel. Okay, alright. Okay. But also, we're supposed to get this Batman versus Superman movie, but it got delayed like 10 months. July was a tough month. Because you know what else came out in July? Pixels. Now this one's disappointing not because I thought Adam Sandler could make a good movie again, but it's the fact that Adam Sandler made a movie again. Adam Sandler is a nerd to save the world. Adam Sandler's not a nerd. When Adam Sandler was in school, there was nerds, and then there was Adam Sandler, who was like the class clown. And the only thing less convincing than Adam Sandler as a nerd is Kevin James as the president. So I'd call this movie a concept movie. It was based on a short film with an interesting concept. And the producers thought, money! Yeah, let's put Adam Sandler in it. Let's throw some jokes in there. Put Josh Gad in it. Make it even worse. Like seriously, after Jack and Jill, how does he still make movies? Jack and Jill. How did that movie even get made? I don't know. But then in August, they came out with this thing called Fant4stic. I don't really know. Apparently it's a Marvel movie. I don't know. I didn't recognize it as a Marvel movie. It looked more like a piece of crap that they just threw together and was like, hey, well, we gotta make a movie because there's a contract or something. Put it together. It's a perfect piece of crap. That's what we just made. I must have been the only person that actually wanted to see this movie. At the time, I didn't realize it was one of those movies that they just made because they had to. Good examples of that would be 2 terrible movies. Just give it back to Marvel. We've had 4 Fant4stic movies, and not a single one are they're not even decent. And I would make a joke about how Incredibles is the only good Fantastic Four movie, but It's already been done like a million times. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is not a bad movie. I really like Guy Ritchie. He's one of my favorite directors. I was really expecting more with this one. I just thought it would have been better, but it was just pretty good. So, yeah. So there's that. September is when this guy, I'm sure you've heard of him, his name is M. He directed a couple good movies, a couple bad movies, a couple really bad movies, and then he directed The Visit. When The Visit first came out, it started getting mixed reviews, which is crazy for an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Then I thought, is M. Night Shyamalan making good movies again? He's not. Definitely one of the biggest problems about this movie is that it's a found footage movie. I just can't stand them if there's no good reason to make those movies, and I wish it would stop. But even if it wasn't found footage, it still wouldn't be good. And then we have Johnny Depp again. And some people call this a return to form for Johnny Depp. It wasn't a bad movie or a bad performance. It's Johnny Depp again, dressed up like a crazy character. See, this is the same thing as him dressing up like the Mad Hatter or the wolf from Into the Woods, but now it just has a serious, extremely violent tone to it. So it's kind of really nothing new. It's just Johnny Depp doing his thing. In October, The Martian came out. I was anticipating this one. I was like, Ridley Scott in space, I love it. But when I saw it, I thought, yeah, it's good. But compare it to the other space movies that have come out at the end of the year for the last 3 years, it's my least favorite of the three. Then, another one of my favorite directors, Steven Spielberg, teaming up with Tom Hanks to make a spy movie? How could this not be great? That's a good question. It's good, but it's not great. Thinking about this movie, I really feel like it would do better as a miniseries, which we know Steven Spielberg produces many miniseries. Because we have the parts with Tom Hanks and the supposed spy, and those are great scenes. And there's the parts with the secret agent pilot or something, and then like the student. I feel like we really didn't get to know those characters. I feel like if we'd taken more time to get to know their backstory and know something about them, it would have had more emotional effect. Then later in the month, we had another one of my favorite directors, Guillermo del Toro, making a creepy horror movie. Like, of course, Guillermo del Toro, creepy horror movies? Love the guy. Again, not a bad movie, just less than what I expected. It was just kind of a generic horror movie in the Guillermo del Toro theme. Not bad, just, good. Also in October, Pan. And then in November, we have another spy movie. A lot of spy movies this year. But this, definitely my most anticipated spy movie of the year, Spectre. At this point of the year, I was pretty disappointed. But I thought, I know Sam Mendes and another James Bond movie cannot let me down. Spectre was kind of like Crimson Peak in a way, where it was kind of a generic version of the genre and didn't bring much more to it. It's strange because I could compare it to the best spy movie of the year, Mission Impossible, to the mediocrest spy movie of the year. I saw Mission Impossible 5 and I was thinking, it's kind of the essential spy movie. Like, it has the femme fatale, it has the rogue agent, it has the, like, opera house scene. Like, he dresses up in a tuxedo and then he fights people. Sound familiar? Then we have Spectre, and we have the Bond girl, we have the mastermind bad guy, we have the big brute as the henchman, but there was something about it that didn't quite work. Before Skyfall came out in 2012, I read an article that said Sam Mendes was only going to do this one James Bond movie. But then it made $1 billion, not even kidding, $1 billion, breaking James Bond records, and he thought, money, and said, oh, I'll give it one more shot. Maybe Sam Mendes was kind of suffering the same as Joss Whedon was, and he was just kind of burnt out. And then there's Hunger Games Mockery Part 2. This is the epic conclusion to the hit series that didn't seem that epic or even that much of a conclusion. She does the thing, and then it's like, oh, okay, there's no more Hunger Games, so I'm gonna go live in that house. Oh, hey, you're here. Okay. And then they do the Harry Potter time jump thing where they like make him look old, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess it's over then. Okay. And I bet you that this movie holds the world record for most jump scares in a non-horror movie. Okay. But in December, as we all know, that's when Star Wars! I'm sorry, I don't really know what that was. Also in December, In the Heart of the Sea. I feel like I keep saying this, but it's happened so many times this year. One of my favorite directors releasing a not so good movie. I really like Ron Howard as a director. And when I saw that he was making like a sea adventure movie, that really excited me. It made me think of Master and Commander, and I really love that movie. But this one doesn't really have the excitement that Master and Commander has. And they spent a lot of time in a lifeboat, and I felt like it didn't give me the suspense that this movie really needed. And they made a fourth Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. And then The Revenant, which comes out in January? I don't want to have to wait till 2016 to see one of the best movies of 2015. Come on! So, 2015 is over. We had many disappointments, a few surprises, 7 of my favorite directors that made some okay films. At least we had Star Wars. Can't wait for 2016. But did you guys see Mad Max? It was awesome!